What's good, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. The thought leaders of the red pill is not high value like they want to make you believe. The thought leaders of the red pill movement will have you believe that they are high value just because they are rich. They will make a podcast about how they're high value because they're rich, or talk about how women are horrible. They are far more concerned with being rich over anything else. They do not promote mental health or stability, at least not for the men. And it's very easy to demonstrate this. You can look at Myron how many times in the podcast that he have lost his temper and shown very much a lack of emotional maturity. We see this all the time. Red pillers claim to be men of logic. So if you want to actually be a man of logic and show that you are, pause for a quick second here and actually think about this. When a person throws emotional tantrums and loses their composure quite easily or quite often, is this really a person that has developed emotional self-control and stability? And is this a person that you actually want to follow? If you were to remove Myron from the picture and just have the same type of personality onto someone else who wasn't known, then you would be very easy to be unbiased. But because a lot of you basically worship Myron, it can be very difficult. So pause for a quick second, take off your fanboy glasses, and then actually look through a critical lens and look at what Myron does, and then you'll actually understand that what he does is not emotionally mature. A lot of red pillars can actually not listen to anything that isn't part of the echo chambers, exactly how the feminist or the bad feminist has done for years. And you claim to be men of logic, however you will not listen to anything that is outside of your little red pill bubble. This is not a good thing. This is basically a religion for you guys. So ask yourself, why would you give this energy back to others that you were given instead of actually give the energy that you would want to receive? There's nothing high value about someone who loses their temper easily. They simply lack self-control. Speaking of self-control, Justin Water is a huge example of another red pill master. There's a big clip of him basically being completely owned, and I will show you this clip right now.
You have only one place in your heart for one woman, or you want to have one woman in your heart, I think you said. Why don't you just commit to one and choose to be faithful to her?
I'm just not wired that way. I spent my whole 20s trying to fix myself. Thought something was
You're a man
wrong
of
with
self-control. You work out, you do business.
Yeah.
You can possess your own power and direct it the way you want to direct it.
It's not how I am. It's not how I am.
You think that might be a limited mindset?
I think it's none of your business, but I don't want you to think I'm triggered.
This clip clearly shows that someone like Justin Roller, another part of the red pill master, simply does not cater to being faithful because he claims he isn't built that way. Yet somehow he's built in a way to make a big company. No one is quote unquote built to be able to make a big company. That is a decisive effort that you actually make. You want to put this effort in day after day after day. What Justin Waller is basically saying is that he don't want to put the effort forward to actually be faithful and just have one woman. He wants to be able to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. You gotta ask yourself, are these guys really your heroes? Guys that basically say indirectly at the very least that you shouldn't be faithful, you just go make a lot of money and then be with as many women as you actually want or could potentially be with. You will see how these red pill thought leaders talk about all the women that did bad, and this creates the idea that you need to do the same. Hell, Myron even flat out says that you need to sleep with 50 women so you can pick the best mate possible, and I will show the clip right now.
Marrying the first girl that you're with as a guy is a big L for you because you're not going to know what you're doing, and women are way more sexually experienced than men are because in today's day and age, by the time a girl turns 18, like we discussed before, she's already had a bunch of experience dealing with the opposite gender. I always say, like, if you're a dude and you don't have that much sexual experience and you get with a girl that's 21 years old that's hot, and let's say you're 21 as a guy, that's the equivalent to a dude with a white belt getting in the ring with someone that has a black belt.
Myron basically defends this by saying that you need to bet a lot of women so you get a body of work, so you can get an understanding of how women behave. You don't need to do that. Basically, you can just befriend women. That way you can basically engage with them and talk to them and get an understanding of how they move and how they talk and how they treat people in general and how they treat potential partners. You don't even have to go as far as dating or getting into the bedroom with these women. So it's completely nonsensical to say like you need to bet 50 women so you can get an understanding, because that's not necessary. Myron himself have even mentioned how a lot high body count leads to a worse pair bond ability, especially for women. Men are less affected than women, But why would you want to do something that worsens your ability to pair bond? Would you want the best pair bonding ability possible so you can actually have a great relationship with a stable partner? This search for a body of work to find the best mate was just not going to help you. Let's say you find the best mate, which is girl number 7, and you bet 43 other women. At that point, when you have betted a total of 50 women, your ability to pair bond will greatly be diminished. So when you actually get to have run through all of this, then how would you be able to pair bond with a mate that would actually been really great? Who's to say even that girl at that time and place would want you at that point? Or who's even to say that you would be mentally well to be good for her in the first place as well? Betting so many women could lead to a lot of problems. So why would you want to engage in this type of behavior when there's an option that will not lead to all these potential issues, which is befriending women and then getting to know how women behave in general, and avoid all these potential issues that could come from betting all these women. Myron claimed that you should bet all these women, and at the same time says it's hard for men to get dates, but he then also says that you need to go out and get these 50 women. But how do you get to bet 50 women in the first place? You need to get on dates. Myron, he sets you up with frustration and emotional pain, and then also sets you up to worsening your ability to pair bond. This way, the Red Pill podcast becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because it forces you to basically bet a lot of women, but then at the same time, you also get to experience a lack of stable relationships. So this is where it becomes really interesting. Do you want to do these things so you can like go out and get this experience, but then you also get the experience that you can't find a stable relationship because you keep repeating the patterns that they're telling you to repeat, and it simply leads you nowhere. Red Pill has put a huge focus on money above everything else, and they will simply scream that you need to make money, 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 and nothing else, and will completely disregard having healthy relationships. And this is something that they can never do. They can never get a healthy relationship no matter what, because they are so damaged themselves that you aren't even capable of being healthy mentally speaking. Thank you for watching. Lost in Conditioning, signing out. I hope you have an awesome